Hello and welcome to Beyond the Lights, Football Across Texas, where we're talking football in towns with head coaches across the state. I'm your host, Brandon Brown, retired football coach and AD, and I'm glad you could join us today at this week's stop in the Lone Star State as we meet one more coach and one more town that make up the world of Texas high school football.
Favorite run play, I like ISO.
Power. You got to run power.
So I was hung up at the crow's nest.
My grandfather was the first African-American running back to be All-State.
I was 19 right about the time and went to a church revival and got saved. And that path changed my life.
No detail, which is finding joy or happiness in others' success.
Now, I got a funny story on this.
Coach, this guy's eyes popped out of socket.
Oh, those guys grew up on beans and cornbread. You know, I grew up on McDonald's and bologna sandwiches, a little better deal.
Yeah,
right?
I like to play the flute, Dad.
It ain't all right either. You're editing, but go ahead.
It's how well you can get your Jimmies and Joes to do the X's and O's.
So if I tell you too much more, I have to kill you?
All right, before we get started today with Coach Simmons here in Dawson, just a quick reminder on a few things. One, don't forget I started a new part of the website with coaches' businesses. So if you know any coaches that own their own businesses or retired coaches that have their own businesses or immediate family members of theirs, and you want to put them on there, let me know, and I will put them onto our coach-owned businesses part of the website at footballacrosstexas.com. And also remember, I've got that job board on there where you can just send me or tag me in any of the social media stuff so I get it, and I will post your jobs openings on there because I know time's running out, but we'll still have, I know there'll be some hired afterwards with new coaches and things like that. But anyway, let me know if I can help on any of that stuff. Don't forget to go see Coach Patman if you're needing a new vehicle and you're in that Austin area. Go see Coach Patman over at Covert Auto. Be a great guy and good to take care of you if you want to make sure you get somebody you can trust. Also, there are two sponsors. Remember our OVR 99, Randy Jackson's new program, his app that you can get on your phones, and you grade your kids, you rate your kids. It's an OVR rating, kind of like the old Madden games, and you can rate them on everything. It rates them on not just athletics, but academics and discipline, character, all that good stuff, all in one app. Great way to keep your kids competitive year-round. Check it out at CoachRandyJackson.com. You're looking for OVR 99, Arena OVR 99. And Spiral XO, remember, that is the program where you can have everything on one dashboard that you need for the football season. It's a great app. I mean, and it's an app on the phone and it's a program on the computer, and it's got everything from player communication to playbook to in-game analytics. Just anything you can think of for your season pretty much is on there. And anyway, it's catching on. I'm getting comments from them all the time about another school across the country that's getting it. It just hasn't come to Texas yet because it's that new. So, I think Texas, once it hits here, it's going to spread like wildfire. But it's one of those things you want to get going before the season gets started. So go to spiralxo.com. Tell them I sent you, and you get 15% off. And same with Randy Jackson's. If you tell them I sent you, you get 15% off there if you get the OVR 99. So anyway, if you want more info on them, just give me a call. I can give you more info, and I'm not a salesperson, so I can tell you more about it if you just want to kind of get a better idea of it. Or you can go to their websites and you can set up free demos. So anyway, that's OVR 99 and Spiral XO. And anyway, like I said, give me a call if you need to, or email me, footballacrosstexas@gmail.com, or my number 940-229-4438. All right, let's get to Coach Simmons. All right, hello and welcome to episode 75. I think 3/4 of a century there. There you go. Special number. I'm in Dawson today. And if you don't know about Dawson, well, it's a 2A Division I school located about 30 miles southeast of Hillsboro and about 20 miles southwest of Corsicana. So kind of in central Texas down here. And I'm here today with the new head football coach, Logan Simmons. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you having me, and thanks for stopping by.
Oh, yes, sir. It's good to actually meet you in person after we've crossed paths a few times at track meets, but never actually visited much.
Yes, sir.
And then you getting the head job here. I was like, I need to go up there and see him.
Absolutely. Come on anytime.
Well, I enjoyed watching the 7-on-7 out there. I was glad to get to watch some of that. So you're getting the kids going a little bit now, and they're starting to learn your offense and defense. And
yeah, so that's kind of the big thing for us is, we don't run a 7-on-7 offense. Like, we're going to run what we run in the fall and get good at it now. And that's a big thing with the kids is, trying to emphasize that it's not a 7-on-7 offense. Not everything's going to work, and that's
Yeah.
okay. We're just trying to get timing and teach them that. And then today's the first day that we really started putting in our defense. So it's good for those kids to start kind of learning that terminology and getting familiar with our defensive staff.
What do you run offensively?
So we're multiple spread.
Okay.
So we'll use a lot of run action. We'll use multiple formations, shifts, motions, throw in some trickery here and there. Let the kids have fun with it.
Yeah.
But we're going to be multiple spread and do what we need to do to be able to compete and try to win games.
I know it always drove me crazy in 7-on-7 when people would run routes that you can't even run in a game. It's
100%,
like you can't run a kid across that line of scrimmage right there because
Yeah.
he's going to have 10 guys in the way, and they just run them right through there, for pick stuff. And it always drove me nuts. I was like you. I said, we're going to run what we run
Yep.
just to get better at that.
Tell our kids we're not doing all that. We see teams that do it, but we're not doing it.
That's
so
right.
We're trying to win games in the fall.
Okay, well, Coach, we always get started pretty much the same way. You just tell us about yourself, your background, where you grew up, and what brought you here to Dawson.
Sure. So I'm originally from Temple, Texas, born and raised there.
So not far. That's how far
Not
from
far.
here?
About an hour 10, hour 15.
Okay. Not bad at all.
So it's not bad, and it's a great area. I went to Little River Academy High School.
Oh, okay.
So I moved there when I was in third grade. Went there, graduated from there. My wife actually graduated from there as well. She was 2 years behind me. We were not high school sweethearts, but kind of our past kind of took us our separate ways, and then brought us back together. So in college, I went to Texas State, and that's kind of what brought us back together. There, I was able to work for the football team for a couple of years. Worked with equipment for one, and then was a student assistant for one. In the year kind of between those, I actually played ice hockey there. So
Ice hockey
a little
in San
different.
Marcos.
In San
I
Marcos.
did not know it existed there.
Yeah, so we played in Austin and San Antonio were our two rinks, but we played against all those. So I kind of took a break and did that, and then got back into was a student assistant with the wide receivers, and then once I graduated, originally was I was gonna go to law school. So was like, I'm not going to take my teacher's test. I'm going to go to law school. Took the LSAT, got in, and then was working at FCA camp and kind of remembered the reason why I got into this and said, you know what, it's not about the money, it's not about that lifestyle. I'm gonna get in this for the right reasons, and ended up getting my teacher's test, and then worked at Salado for a little bit as a life skills aide while I was getting my test.
Yeah.
Did that and got to assist a little bit, and then got my start in Hillsboro.
Okay.
For the first full time.
So what year were you at Hillsboro?
So I was there, got there in the spring of the 15-16 school year, and then was there 16-17, and then...
Was Buck Gilcrease still over there?
I don't
the
think so.
superintendent?
No.
Okay,
no.
okay. He had already left.
I think it was Vicki Adams was the superintendent there.
Okay. I knew Buck left somewhere around 2014, give or take a year, but I wasn't sure. I used to work with him a long time ago. And so you came in, too, right after we quit playing them.
Okay.
Because when I was at Clifton, we played them, and 2014 would have been probably, or 2013 or 14 would have been the last year we played them.
So, we played 16-17, we played Clifton. I don't know if you're still there or not.
No, I was gone.
But we played, and it's funny, when I was at Marble Falls, we just hired a guy over there when I was leaving that's from Clifton that I coached against my very first football game coaching. So that was kind of cool getting to see that kind of come.
I think I know who you're talking about. You remember his name?
Mark Gutierrez.
Yes, I know Gutierrez. Gutierrez is one of my youngest son's best friends.
Okay.
Yeah, they were there in Clifton together until we left, and we left when they were finishing 8th grade.
Okay.
Good athlete in school. He was a good athlete.
Yeah, he was good. And then that was cool. So he kind of came in, interviewed, and we were hiring him on, and then they bought the house across the street from us, and then we moved, and so but it was kind of full circle that was my first game. Remember this kid at running back, and then there he was. So
I need to go see Mark. Knowing he's at Marble Falls, I go over there and inspect houses every once in a while at Marble Falls.
Yeah.
So I need to go yell at him next time I'm over there.
No doubt.
I forgot. Josh told me they were trying to get him at Salado, and then he told me, we lost him to Marble Falls over there. So I forgot that was where he wound up. But
yeah.
Okay, so I interrupted you there. So Gutierrez, or you were talking about him heading over there.
Yeah, so I was at Hillsboro.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so went from Hillsboro, went down to Corpus Christi, Flower Bluff. Loved it down there. Got to live on the island.
Yeah, you left the beach.
Yeah, I did. It was very surprising, but went down there, and then my wife and I got married. My wife Sarah, and we got married that summer. And I was called and offered the offensive coordinator job at McGregor. So I went there for a year. That's when I had a coaching change happen and decided, hey, we went to Lampasas. So I was there for the two really good years. I was there for the state semi run in 19, and then had an undefeated regular season in 20. Great time there, and we had our first kid there, Crosby. So she's 6 now. She'll be going into first grade. And then we found out we were pregnant with twins, twin girls, so 3 girls. So found out we were pregnant with them, and my mom was driving back and forth from Temple to watch our oldest and babysit her. So I got an opportunity to go be the offensive coordinator at Elgin. So I kind of said, you know what, we'll move back to Temple and I'll drive every day, about an hour one way every single day. So had our twins there, and then Jarrett Hunt was the AD at Academy at the time, and he offered me an opportunity, called and said, hey, do you want to come back home? Like, you're living here? And I said, yeah, like that's what I need to do. I can take a step back and come home and be more present. And God turned that into, we had a coaching change there and was able to get the offensive coordinator job, and was there for 3 years total, the offensive coordinator for 2, and then had coaching change happen there. It's just some unfortunate situation stuff. And then Coach Simmons called me right when that news was announced and asked me to come to Marble Falls, and went there, enjoyed it, learned a lot, loved it, great area.
That's pretty.
And then our principal here, it's kind of how this all ties in, is our principal here, Kent Fuller. He was my 6th grade PE teacher in Academy. It's the only year we ever had any personal connection other than like social media after that. And phenomenal guy. And he called when this opened, and got my interest going. And so it's a great place, and it's an opportunity I felt like God was calling us to, and so it's been great.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Congrats on the head position.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now I guess it was. I'm losing my train of thought here. Getting old sucks, but but the McGregor was one of the places you mentioned. I love McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
I like that town. I like that area. And then you talked about Lampasas, and Lampasas is where my wife and I were talking about possibly moving when my daughter graduates from Fredericksburg. We were talking about possibly moving up there and making that our retirement area. I love
beautiful.
that town.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Great people. I mean, it was tough to leave there for sure. So still got some good friends there.
Yeah, I used to know the old AD and high school principal, Mark Kehoe.
Okay.
But that was from quite a while back.
Yeah.
I think he's been gone from there for a long time, but he was one of the first coaches I ever worked for. He was a defensive coordinator at Azle, and I was on the defensive side. And I learned more football from that guy. Golly, he was sharp. But, okay. Well, let's move on then to starting this new program here real quick. First of all, you got how many teams from the 7-on-7 league are actually in your district too?
Just the one, just Axtell.
Axtell?
Just
Okay.
Axtell, but all of them are on our schedule. So Blooming Grove's a scrimmage. Hubbard is our first home game. That's a big rivalry. It's the Battle of Highway 31. And then we go to Wortham week 2. So we're getting to see them all.
Yeah.
3 of them, or all 4 of the 5 of us are new staffs. So Axtell is the only staff remaining. Blooming Grove got hired earlier in the spring. And then Hubbard got hired a little bit later, and then I got hired, and then the guy from Wortham got hired. So we're all kind of new coming in, trying to.
Well, how's the district look?
It's going to be good. I think it's going to be nice. I mean, Axtell's, you saw out there, they got a bunch of kids. Quarterback's unbelievable. He's very good. I think he's going to play baseball at Arkansas. But they do a good job over there. They had a good year last year, and they reloaded a lot. Valley Mills, Bosqueville are always good. Italy, you got Riesel. One of my good buddies took over at Riesel.
Okay.
So that's going to be a fun little matchup here in October. And then you got Itasca, and I believe that's all of them. And so it's a good district, a great region. I mean, the region's tough too. So it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of good ball games.
And only a couple of those are from the previous district, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think there's just a few of them. So.
Okay. Well, have they been playing those other schools in the non-district stuff?
They have.
So they have pretty good. You got some old
you
film
got
on
an
and stuff
idea,
like that. Oh, that's good. Well, okay, so coming in and starting a new program here, what's been the biggest challenge for you so far?
Oh, man, there's a few of them. I guess the biggest one is just the timing of when I came in. So my first day was April 30th, and I think I had 10 days with the kids before school let out for summer. So trying to get in, and at that time, so there's 6 of us football coaches, myself included, and only one of them returned. So it was coming in. It was me trying to learn all the stuff. Now we had some help around, but me trying to install my stuff by myself, and then having to hire coaches and teach them, and then it was a big deal. And just how the end of the year gets, it gets crazy with scheduling and all that. So even in those 10 days, I didn't always have them, and just a bunch of things. So that was kind of the biggest challenge coming in, was the timing of it, and now trying to get kids to get here for summer workouts because you haven't talked to all of them, and trying to get, again, everybody hired here. I think we got everybody, all the boys, all the football coaches were here today. Was just waiting on our last one, who's also our head basketball coach, to move down here at the end of July. But that's been kind of the biggest thing, is just the timing of it, and trying to get everything.
You were able to get everybody hired?
I was able to get everybody hired.
Good deal.
Yeah. So it's gonna be good, but it has been a challenge just trying to get that going, getting in so late, and getting learning. So it's been fun though. It's been a fun opportunity.
Yeah. No, I can recall going into Schulenburg. I think I went into Schulenburg. School was already basically out. Mm-hmm. I went in. I got to go meet the kids like one day the last week of school.
Oh wow!
But I didn't start until that summer.
Yeah, that's tough.
That is tough when you get in there late. And then we went straight into 7-on-7, like you said, 7-on-7 stuff, and so that made it tough. But so you got your staff filled. You said you got one more still moving down here.
Yes, yeah. So he's actually up out of state. He's from the area, so from Gatesville. Went to school in Houston. Had reached out about our head basketball job. He's actually coaching at a college in Milwaukee, but teaching at a high school. So certified, all that, and wants to come back home this way, and played college football and college basketball.
That's always
so
nice.
I was like, hey, this is be great for the kids. Great. It's a basketball guy that's wants to coach football. Is bought into football too, which is sometimes tough to find.
Yeah,
so
that is.
That's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good. It'll be good for our kids. We got a lot of fresh faces. The girls' side, I think we're only returning 2, and then our tennis and cross country coach is returning. So it's gonna be a lot of new faces.
So you had to hire both sides. Huh?
I had to hire both sides. Yeah, thought the girls' side was gonna be good, and then had some last minute changes there. But it's been a fun process to be able to get it in, and now I'm getting in, kind of quote unquote my people. Yeah. So people that have been here, and we were able to promote within on the girls coordinator, somebody who's going to do a great job over there. So there's a lot of exciting things staff-wise going on.
Oh, that's good. Well, trying to fill your staff, what was your strategy on, getting them in here? Was it a lot of word of mouth, or did you have, just post it everywhere you could, or what?
My biggest thing is trying to know people. So I want to get people I know. And if I can't do that, there's a lot of guys that I would love to hire, but they're in the similar situation as me. They're, they can't move because they're in a great spot, or they're wanting that first head job. Yeah. And so that's ideally, but then from there, I go to people that I trust and ask them if they know anybody. My best friend's the AD out in Christoval, and so our defense coordinator is one of his buddies he knew. So I reached out and said, hey man, I need somebody, and he sent me his name and connected and got him hired up, which was great. So it's been a lot of word of mouth. I did post a little bit, post our head basketball job on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it.
That's the one you sent me, I think, to post too.
Yeah, posted on yours, yep, and didn't post it on any other job boards, but had some people reach out. So it was good there, but a lot of word of mouth and connections with other people. Like I said, our principal, he's got a lot of great connections being a former coach. Yeah. So he's got some people he could reach out to and say, hey, here's this person that may be interested. You want to talk to him, and so it's been good.
So what is it like now? Are you getting more applicants? 10 years ago, it was, I'd say 5 to 10 years ago, it was absolutely terrible. Posting a job, you'd be lucky sometimes to get one applicant. Do you see it getting a little better?
Maybe a little bit. I think it's tough just being how late it was. Yeah. I know the job cycle is getting later and later, but being as late as it was, our head basketball, we had pretty decent interest but a lot of them either didn't fit the certification, which we needed, and it didn't have any wiggle room kind of with them, or they weren't fully certified or weren't certified at all. But got a lot of people excited to be here. Like it was I had like 3 college basketball coaches reach out, and I was like, you know where we're at, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so it was good. I mean, there's been some, and I think earlier in the spring it would be a little better. But yeah, we had some good interest.
Well, that's good, because I really was thinking, maybe with what was it? Was it last year or the year before? There was like an $8,000 raise kind of across the state.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, I was thinking things like that can make a big difference. I mean, I know the TIA, which is drives me absolutely nuts, because it's not actually your best teachers out there sometimes still can't get TIA because of how does this district rate your improvement? How does this one rate improvement? That kind of thing. So it's kind of all over the place on some of that, but bottom line, I think is still money. I mean, you'll get more people into the profession if they just pay them more, because it's easier to help take care of your family. And I remember starting at $27,800, counting my coaching stipend back in 1996. And that was at what's now a 5A school. It was 4A. At the time it's called 4A, but. So I mean, I would hope the money would help start getting more people back in it.
I think it is. I think it's starting to, there's a lot of things with it that are driving people out, but I know like THSCA is doing a lot of good stuff trying to get people, back in with the Rock Mentor and all that kind of stuff, just trying to keep the good ones in it. And I mean, it's tough. It's not going to be easy, but it's it's just trying to find different ways that way to keep people in.
Well, and I don't think there's any better incentive to keep kids in the public schools than our athletic programs.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down to me, we got the best athletic programs. I'm going to say in the state, because I don't know how the other states do it a lot different.
Yeah.
But I know, in the state here, our athletic programs are probably the best thing about public schools. Because, you're raising these kids to be, good, strong young men and women of character, not just, milk them for what you can get out of them,
Yeah, and typically, I mean, I'm a big believer in, if you've got a really strong athletic program, you're probably got a really strong academic and low discipline issues in the hallways and classroom, because it kind of raises that standard for everybody else. And so I think it's, I know people fighting against it and trying to get it taken away, but I think that's a big mistake, because it's a pillar of our program. It's what sets us apart, but it also helps, our principals and teachers in the building as well. Yeah, and sometimes that aspect gets overshadowed by, our kids are reading at a such and such level. Okay, well, try coming to the country towns, try coming to the suburbs. Don't concentrate on areas that might be struggling. Concentrate on the areas that are exceeding and excel. So but okay, so tell me then, when you do interview coaches, what are you wanting to hear from them in an interview that kind of catches your interest on this kind of person I want on my staff? Person of character, do they kind of want somebody that's passionate, that's you can tell cares about kids. That's a big thing, is we want to do right by kids, and I tell them that, hey, we're going to coach them hard, we're going to get after them, but we're going to love them harder. So you want somebody that's going to come in here that's going to, be demanding but not demeaning to them. And then, I want people on my staff that want to grow. Like, I know there's people that come in and they want to sit, and I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but like I want people that want to be in this chair. And so if I can help people get to whatever their career goal is, I want people that, want to grow themselves and be growth minded and be better, but that also want the same thing for their kids and kind of believe in the same things. And, I want people that are going to communicate clearly and, kind of enforce the standards that we set.
Now, when you were getting your interview questions ready for people, did you have a list? Did you make your own list, or did the school have a list you kind of had to follow, or how'd you do that?
For the athletic side, I kind of made my own. Since we're so small, most of them were head jobs. So a lot of it was, hey, what's your practice plan look like? Take me through a typical practice plan. And you'd be surprised at what you can learn, you can learn through that, and that kind of narrowed and weeded some people out.
We'll spend about a minute or two on this, and then a minute.
And getting to kind of dig into, to the behind that. Hey, how do you handle a parent? How do you handle discipline? Kind of things like that. will kind of tell me a lot, especially in a head job of, what you're going to be about and are you aligned kind of with what our whole athletic vision and mission and pillars are.
Now, have you even had time to look at the athletic code here and see what you want to change?
I have not. That's something I have on my list to work on. I've looked a little bit, and I have some things that I have kind of already myself bringing, but kind of going through that and then going through the student code of conduct as well and working with them to make sure that everything's lined up.
Yeah, I know it used to be at most of the schools I was at, July was normally the month when the board would approve the athletic codes and stuff, so I always had to have it updated if I wanted to update it by July.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your favorite interview question to ask coaches?
Like I said, it was for the head stuff, so I think the best one that I was able to ask was the practice plans, just because you can learn so much about somebody through that. I do have one that I was asked one time while I was at McGregor is, what does your closet look like? And that kind of told them, how organized was I? Was it, detailed and all that?
Yeah.
So I've always liked that one. Haven't asked that one yet, but thought that was a good one to be asked because you kind of learn a lot about a person.
You got to be careful who you're asking that one to.
Exactly.
Don't ask the female coaches. Somebody else take that the wrong way.
Yeah, no doubt.
I tell you, every coach I ask that question, I get a different answer, about it. Now, do you have them get up on the board for football stuff? Do you ever do that?
I will. Yeah. So I know, like when we talked with our defense coordinator, we had kind of talked on the phone for a lot of it, stuff like that. The other ones were kind of for other sports, but I'll have them get up there some, and because I want to learn too. Maybe, hey, what's your favorite? What's your favorite concept, or what's your favorite way to block this, and that way I can learn as well. But we'll do that a little bit, some. So.
I think I did for coordinators a couple times. I probably wish I had done more of that, but it's kind of like what you were saying. Half the time I was hiring, I would have liked to have hired a football first guy, but what I was hiring was the first assistant for varsity basketball.
Yeah.
And so I really needed to get someone that really likes basketball to help them out, but also likes football. And so it was like, man, I don't want to scare them off. I think,
I didn't get to do it much on this one, just with what we were having to hire. But that's something, with timing wise, I'll definitely have them going forward. Just to.
How many football coaches will you have on staff?
So we got 6 total. That's including myself.
Okay.
So I was able, like I said, brought in a defense coordinator. I'm going to handle the offense right now, and then we've got 4 others that. We'll kind of split. I'm kind of back and forth on the can we go one-sided, have 3 coaches coach one, 3 coach the other, or do we all need to coach both sides? So that's something we're kind of still working through, me and our DC, but we got 6 of us total, so it's
do you also do junior high too with y'all 6?
We got junior high as well. Yeah. So.
How are you gonna structure the practice wise to take care of them separately? Do you coach? Do you practice one group in the morning, one in the afternoon?
Yeah. So the plan right now, which you got to be adaptable. It's always changing, but we're going to go junior high in the mornings. So they'll go before school. They have first period athletics, so we'll be able to lift. We'll be able to practice them in the morning before school, lift them during the period, and then myself or our defensive coordinator will lift the high school kids on those same days at the same time. So we'll kind of flip back and forth there. So they'll practice Monday through Wednesday mornings. They won't have anything before school Thursday and Friday. Thursday, obviously, game day, and then Friday they'll just lift during the period. And then as far as the high school kids, I said they'll lift Monday through Wednesday during the morning before school, come in during the period. We'll be able to hit, special teams, some scout stuff, different things like that. And then we'll practice after school with them, God willing, with the whole wet bulb.
That's what I was about to ask, if that was still a thing.
We got to be adaptable, and that's the plan as of now. Now, how much that plan changes, we'll see. But that's kind of ideal for that. And then, they'll have nothing Thursday morning, and then they'll come in. We'll kick the field during the period, and then Friday we're going to open car doors at the elementary before school. And then I'm a big game day lifter, so we're going to lift during 5th period.
That's another one. I had one a few weeks ago that was big on that too.
I love it. So I've seen it work too much not to, and we're going to get our 4 times a weekend. So, but I think it's just a mentality thing, and I've told the kids about that. It's most other teams aren't doing it. So it's a game day. We got up and lifted. Like, what'd y'all do? And so kind of trying to install that into them.
I think it was De Leon. I think that was a coach that told me the same thing, and I remember thinking, seriously?
Yeah, I love it.
That's good. Yeah. So what are you going to do to keep coaches here? What's going to make coaches want to stay out here at Dawson?
I think a big thing is one is treating them right. Making sure that I'm respectful of them, their families. I want to get to know them and their families. Kind of how we've done it the past few years is like we won't work on Saturdays. Now, obviously, with technology, you do your stuff at home. As long as you get it in, we're good. So they'll be able to have that time to go watch their kids, take their wives or girlfriend or whatever it is on a date night, be able to have that time, and then we'll work on Sundays. But I think that's a big thing for the football guys to be able to do. As a whole, it's just making sure that everybody knows that they're cared for, making sure that they feel supported. I got their back. And it's just finding ways to take care of them, whether it's, hey, let's try to increase the stipend here, or, hey, maybe let's try to add an extra coach so that maybe we can take a responsibility off. Maybe, hey, I need to go drive for their team so that they can focus on some other stuff or get some rest or whatever it may be. But just trying to find little ways to support them in that way. And I think we've got a great administration that's going to help do that. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah. Happy coaches tend to stay. So
yeah, no doubt.
Okay, well, that's all on that personnel talk.
Yeah.
Coaches, quick question. What if you could take everything that matters in your program, effort, discipline, attendance, strength and speed gains, and actually put a number on it? Not just stats, but who your guys really are every single day. What type of athlete, student, teammate, and even person they are. That's what we're building with Arena OVR 99. It launches May 1st. It's going to let you track not just performance, but accountability, competition, and real development across your team. But if you want something you can use right now, go to my website, CoachRandyJackson.com, and not only will you find information about Arena OVR, but you'll also see a curriculum for arena captains and arena team, anything that will help grow your program, plug and play leadership, and it's all at CoachRandyJackson.com.
Let's look at the rapid fire questions then. What's the most unusual situation you've encountered as a coach?
Oh, I was thinking about this morning. I was talking about my wife. I was like, man, I can't think of any. And then I thought of a lot. I think, number one was the whole situation. McGregor was a little different just with, there's a lot of, it was a big divided staff before I got there. And so there was a lot of, you hear of coaches backstabbing and undermining all that. So that was very unusual to go in there and see it firsthand of, oh, wow, like this is going on. Another time was, I left there, I went to Lampasas, and they were coming off of a 7-5 year, and me and my best friend actually got to work there together, and we show up day one of 2 days, and there's numerous media outlets there. We walk out and we're like, man, we're not used to this, and they're talking about state championship aspirations, all this, and just getting to walk out and just kind of see all that was pretty unusual for us. We were like, man, we're not used to all this. Like, maybe you see one, but you've got 6, 7, 8 of them. It was kind of crazy. So that was a big one there, and so
yeah, no, that's my two favorite towns there that you talked about earlier. Again, and okay, so favorite pass route.
Oh, I got a few of those too. I like sail because you can dress it up a lot of different ways, and then I'm a big shallow guy as well. I like that because you can do so much with it.
Okay, now tell me how you define sail.
So I got the skinny post by the outside guy. We call it our sail route by the slot or whoever we have tagged on it. Running the 8 yards, stick 4, roll back out on the flag. It's not really. You're not aiming high on it. You're kind of rolling out to it. So it's kind of between like an out and a
okay, pretty much like we did. Kind of like a deep speed out kind of thing. You're getting out there and just bending it.
Yeah, and you'll have somebody flat, to kind of help pull down. But you can run that so many different ways. We ran it off of, I love double post too, and being able to have somebody else off the double post, have somebody run the sail behind it. So you can do a lot of different things with that, and just kind of creates a little space.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think anytime you're moving away from people hard towards the sideline at kind of that deep angle, it's like a corner route. It's just you throw it right, it's hard to cover.
And I like throwing those myself. So I get out there and play scout team or whatever. I like throwing those. So it's a nice ball. So
now, what shallow is your traditional? You got a shallow and a dig, and
yeah. The post shallow or post dig shallow, come back by the outside, and then the back shooting. So.
Yeah,
I like those two.
Route.
Great options, pretty easy to read. We tell them, hey, read it down. Safety
I think that was the
backer,
first Tony Franklin route I learned.
Okay.
Was the shallow. I think when someone started talking Tony Franklin, that was the first one they brought up. I think mesh was probably the second.
Yep.
But
it's another good one. Got that in too.
Okay, favorite run play?
I like power. That's a big one. So again, you can do so many different things with it. You can power read it. We when I was at academy, we actually flipped it back. So, normally same side power, we'd flip the back and we'd fan the backside tackle and read the backside of it instead of reading the front side of power. So we were able to do a bunch of different things with it that way. And so it's a good play. And again, it's a mindset.
So who were you reading on backside?
So the backside end. So
okay.
instead of gap sealing them, we just fan out to whatever's out there, whether it's an outside backer or safety roll down, whoever it is, and we'd read that end. And so allow the quarterback to keep it, or we can hand it off. And so that was a good one. There's just so many different ways you can dress it up. But again, I like the mentality of, hey, I may be a skill guy, but we're going to be physical and we're going to run it down your throat. And so
no, I agree. You going to have a hair policy with the kids?
No, as long as they're, it's not too crazy. We'll abide by whatever our school policy is. But as long as they're not, not coming out in crazy colored hair and all that kind of stuff. And as long as it's pretty well groomed, but I'm not going to be so crazy on it. Try to let them have a little bit of personality, but also be a team me, kind of guy. So.
Okay, heads or tails on a coin flip?
I'm gonna go heads. Yeah. I don't know. I hear the tails never fails, but. Man, I don't know. There's something about heads.
I heard it fails 50% of the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
offense. You're going to want to go offense first, or
I want to go offense first.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know there's a whole stat I've heard. It's 88% or something like that of the first team that scores wins. So I'm much rather go be the first team that scores.
That's a good point.
Kind of do that, but just being an offensive guy, I always like it first, kind of set the tone, whether it's taking a shot or, getting stuff that I want set up. But every now and again, we might go defense first, just depending on the situation. But I'd say majority of the time, I'm going to take the ball and let's go. So
yeah. Do you like to script your first few plays?
I do. So normally I kind of got it from Lampasas. Coach Rogers over there is, we'll script the first 10.
That's what I do.
So I like doing that. Now we'll get off, if we get to the third down, we'll go to our third down. So whatever it may be, and but ideally usually it's to set stuff up or to see different things.
You want to see alignment for certain formations.
Yeah, show one thing so that we can see what we're going to get later, and usually I like to come in with a couple of different things off of each one of them so that we can kind of set it up and take advantage of it.
Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, do you give a pregame? You're going to give a pregame speech?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like I'm not going to be a whole big rah-rah, all that kind of stuff, but, I'll give a little bit. When I was at Academy, I got to do we had a pregame devotional.
Okay.
So we'd come in when we came back, in from warm-ups, I'd go in and give a pregame devotional right before we went out, and that's something I'm going to, ask one of our coaches to do, and so that they're able to get that spiritual part, but, it kind of puts them in front of the kids as well, but I know we'll do that, and then, I'll kind of come in and kind of finish it off and send them out. But, we'll kind of see when the time comes what that looks like. So
okay. Do you have a favorite quote that you're going to like to use all the time?
I think my favorite quote, period, is love God, love people. I think a lot of problems can be solved with those. I'm also, big on success is doing the best you can with what you have where you're at. So trying to tell our kids and people around is, we're not going to look at scoreboard, we're not going to look at results, all that kind of stuff, that we're going to find out if we were successful by, did we maximize what we had? or did we do the best we could with where we're at with what we're given? So can we turn, what we have into something great, and that'll kind of tell us, what our success is. So
I like that. That's kind of like an old character building deal I used to do said, success is becoming the best you that you can be, or something like that. It's going to be different for every person. Success is just becoming the best you that you can be.
Love it.
And okay, music in the weight room.
Oh yeah, all different kinds. I'll put on some. The girls are in there. I'll put on some clean pop stuff. They like all that kind of
Taylor Swift
hip-hop,
stuff.
Yeah, all that kind of music, all that pop, and gives us some energy. And then the boys come in. It's a big variety. I got some that'll take the aux a little bit, and they'll put on some rock, and then you got some that we'll put on some clean hip hop, or I'll put on some clean like Christian rap, put on some country every now and again.
I had a lot of the Christian rap on there because there were some pretty good ones that had some good hard beat ones that you couldn't tell. I mean, they weren't as overtly Christian in a lot of ways, but the lyrics were just good, solid lyrics to them with a good beat, and that's always good ones.
Yeah, oh yeah, we get after it with the music in there, so they enjoy it.
So what with your weight room stuff, y'all lifting in the mornings right now for your summer workouts?
Yes, we're going 8 to 10. So we have a inside session and an outside session, and then we'll do our football skills. So
you getting the weight room set up the way you want it, or were you going to have somebody that came in take care of that?
So yeah, we're taking care of it. So I've got what I've brought in that we've done at multiple places, and so it's a big 5-3-1 setup with the main four, and then
so it's heavy.
It's heavy, yeah. So we'll have that. We'll have so like we had our week of 5s, our week of 3s. This is our week of 1s, and the next week we'll deload. So it'll be kind of the dynamic effort of like tempo squats, tempo bench, so a little bit lighter weight, slower down, explode up, trying to just give their bodies a break while still working the different types of muscles, things like that. Yeah. And then we'll restart it, and then we'll also have a cycle of 6s that we'll do. And so we're trying to lift heavy and run fast. Yeah. And we try to jump. We'd get a lot of jumps in every day as well, whether it's broad jumps or box jumps or skater hop box jumps, just different things to help kind of help that soft tissue, but help the explosiveness as well.
Okay. Yeah, no, I kind of went off with that one there. I was just kind of curious how your weightlifting stuff was going. Now, if you have a varsity player in the band, you can let them march at halftime?
Yeah. I used to be big against it. Not that I had any say in it, but I was just like, man, like we need the kid in there. But they talk about they only get 4 to 6 years to do it. Like we'll make it work. If they want to do it. I've listened to your podcast, and I do like some of the ones that say they do it in non-district and don't do it in district.
You've heard every different possibility.
I've heard it, yeah.
Only if we're at home, only if we're away, only if it's a non-district, only if it's a district, only if they're not a drummer. No, it's about every.
And I think my wife and I were driving to that Hill Country Clinic in Fredericksburg when I was listening to it, and somebody said that, and I said, you know what, that's a good idea. But yeah, I think, we don't have many, if any, but yeah, I'll let them do that. Yeah. Our band director is awesome here. He's very good. He was on the hiring committee. Phenomenal guy. So, we're gonna help everybody out, and so if they want to do it, we'll let them.
All right. What are your favorite 3 lifts in the weight room?
Squat is number 1, hang clean, and bench. So that's 3 of our big, it's 3 of our big 4, and then incline is our last one. But if we ever go, like, incline is the one that gets cut. We went 3 days last week just because we had a situation with a student. Last week we took a day off for a funeral, and so we cut the incline out and said, these are our main 3, and if we get a 4th one, it'll be incline. But yeah, those are the best 3. So. Okay.
What favorite agility exercise?
I like the grid. That's something, introducing over here, the whole change direction, coming to balance, coming to stopping, and all that kind of stuff, and helping them get that speed going, but being able to throw the brakes down. And
is that when you have a lot of cones lined up? Okay, yeah, I've heard a few coaches talk about it. I just haven't ever seen it in practice yet.
Yeah, normally we go, 6 cones across, and then 25 yards, every 5 yards for about 25 yards. So It's just a big grid, and you have a bunch of different things you can do off of it, and just kind of getting that change direction and getting them to be able to come to balance and control their bodies is a big deal. So that's always a good one.
Okay. All right. Are you a conspiracy theory person?
A little bit. There's some things that I'm like, I don't know if I believe that. So it kind of depends on what it is. But there's some out there that I'm like, I kind of believe this conspiracy a little bit. And then there's some that are a little far-fetched.
Well, there's too much now with the stuff you can fake too now on social media. It's like every time my wife comes to me about something, I'm like, okay, where did you see it?
Yeah.
Facebook. Okay, baby. Odds are it's not real. But
no, there's a lot of AI stuff on Facebook that I'm like, man, that looks real. But it's just so.
The UFO stuff interests me lately. I watched something on. I don't remember what it was on last night, but I watched some kind of UFO type documentary last night that was. It's still, when you start getting all these things that you got credible sources, 50 people watched this, and you're like, wait a minute, it defies everything, So you got to wonder what we really know about that.
Yeah. Now there's some I believe in, or I'm not too far on the, but I'm like, hey, it could be.
You're not way down.
Yeah, I'm not way down it like all that, but there is some that I'm like, hey, I can see it. You know. So
okay, you listen to podcasts?
I do.
What's your favorite?
I got a bunch of those too. Like I listen to yours is great.
Yeah, there we go.
I've enjoyed all those. I've got one I listen to called Built for More. It's by a pastor named Joby Martin and a quarterback trainer named Denny. I think it's Denny Thompson, and they're out of, I believe, Jacksonville. Unbelievable podcast. They've got great guests on, and it kind of ranges from sports to faith to all sorts of stuff. That's a big one there. I listened to the Quick Six by, I don't know if you know Travis McClain over at Mount Vernon. He's got his.
The name, yeah.
His is a great one. What else? I got the Learning Leader Show with Ryan Hawk. That's AJ Hawk's brother. He used to play for the Packers. So his is great. He's got a bunch of leaders from all sorts of different industries and things like that is great. And then what's the other one? Oh, during football season, that ESPN College Game Day. Got to listen to that. I don't listen to it so much in the off season just because it's not. Yeah. There's so much other stuff going on that I listen to all my other ones, but when that gets there, I listen to that one too. So I got a wide range of different topics.
On my way up here, I listened to it was Coach Sawyer. I just interviewed a couple weeks ago, and he told me about the History on Fire podcast, and I like history stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And so I listened to one of those on Sitting Bull, and it's pretty good. I mean, it was about 2 hours.
Oh, I'm gonna
so
check
it took
that
up
out.
half my trip, but and I only listened to part one. It's a 5-part series.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. That's cool.
But it's called History on Fire, and he's like all over the world with stuff. But it was pretty good. Coach Sawyer and I were texting back and forth this morning on my way up here about it, because he was telling me about another one that he's been listening to on there.
That's awesome.
But yeah. So I like the podcast too, but now I've got those written down. I have to check
I'm a big
on those.
podcast guy. Like my wife gets on to me because anytime we get in a car to go on a trip, I'm like, hey,
she's asleep.
Put in your headphones, or you're going to sleep anyway, which she does. But I'm like, hey, you put in your headphones. You can listen to your whatever. I'll put on a podcast. Every now and again, I'll listen to some music driving, but usually I got to be in the mood for it because I feel like I'm wasting opportunity if I'm not listening to something if I'm driving. So
I got you. Okay, if you could change one rule in football, what would it be?
Oh, there's probably a lot there too, but I'm gonna go the traditional targeting for everybody, just because I like hitting, and now I get the whole malicious, intentional stuff, but there's some of them that just aren't good for the game. At least the whole ejection and
the
all
ejection
that kind of stuff.
I'm still surprised they haven't gone and revisited that. Because not one coach I've talked to thinks that's right.
Yeah.
So who in the world's responsibility is that? I need to get them and interview them, whoever's responsibility it is, and say, okay.
The whole cut blocking, defense can do it, we can, all that kind of stuff. Man, I remember back when I was in high school being able to play receiver and being able to go out and cut people.
Oh, yeah.
It was not that you'd want to, but, it's just having the ability to be able to do it, has been makes it a little bit tougher on us. But, yeah, there's a few, but I'd say those are the big ones.
Yeah. Okay. What would you do if you weren't a coach?
Well, I said, I was going to go to law school, so that's, I'm minor in criminal justice.
Okay.
So I love crime shows, books, movies, podcasts, all that. So I'd probably say, I'd get into criminal law, but I wouldn't mind having my own business either. Kind of being the boss and in control, and doing something where you get to travel and have a lot of time with the family and kids and stuff like that. But I couldn't see myself doing much, anything else different. But if I had to pick something, I'd probably say one of those.
Okay. Do you have a pro or a college coach that you kind of look up to or model some things after?
Got a few of those too. From an offensive standpoint, I always loved Lincoln Riley was a big one. Steve Sarkisian, just by the way that he's able to dress things up and make things look the same. Big PJ Fleck fan. Wife and I both love him. He's great. Obviously, Nick Saban's.
Yeah.
Nick Saban. So just things the way that he runs his program. Kirk Cignetti, same thing. So there's a bunch of them that I kind of like to study and look at, and
so you kind of take bits and pieces from all of them, huh?
Yeah, or at least get ideas of kind of how things should be ran and done, and or at least just admiring them for how they do things. So
yeah. Okay, who's the most motivating coach you've ever heard speak? This is a new one. I just
that's a tough one. I'd say probably PJ Fleck off one of those. Just hearing his, he's got a lot of passion, intensity, but hearing his life story with it of kind of what got him to where he is, and just the passion and energy and how it kind of his leadership relates to everything.
Yeah.
Not just football or sports, but how he's went and spoke at Fortune 500 companies, and because it all translates. So he's just very passionate and kind of gets you going.
Okay.
So.
I have to go listen to some of his stuff now. What's your favorite pregame song to hear?
I don't know if I have just one, but I'll put in my AirPods and I'll go sit on the field and listen to some country music. Normally I'm listening to some Hudson Westbrook or Morgan Wallen or some of those dudes. So I'll listen to kind of whatever comes across. I have a little Spotify playlist, but I like to put in the headphones and go sit out there and visualize a little bit. And so,
all right. Favorite sports movie?
Two of I got Hardball. It's a great one, great movie. I think there's a lot of good lessons in there. Kind of watching it now, there's just a lot of kind of empowerment of the impact you can have on people. And then I love Major League. Major League's a good one as well.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It is. All right, favorite movie quote?
Oh, I don't know if I have one of those. It's a good question.
I ask you all the hard stuff.
Yeah. now I can't think of any movie quotes. So, I can't think of any right now.
Oh, no big deal.
I'm sure when we're done, one's gonna pop up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna say, man, I wish I'd have said that. But
well, that's the last of the questions. Is there anything you kind of want to add about what you're looking forward to that's going on here in Dawson?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of great things with facilities, brand new facilities. So I'm getting excited about some potential things going up around the school as well that I think is going to make it a very unique place to play. So I'm just really excited about the opportunity to have an impact on community, and kids are working hard. They're great kids. They'll do anything you say. And they'll get out here and they'll give it their all, and they've enjoyed the changes so far, and they've adapted really well. So I think there's big things ahead across the board for all sports, and I'm just really looking forward to an opportunity to serve this place and to get things going in the right direction.
Well, good deal. I appreciate you taking the time to visit with me today, and good luck to you.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today here in Bulldog Country with Coach Simmons. I hope you enjoyed getting to know a little more about him and his thoughts on some of his personnel stuff and the other things we talked about. And I'm not positive again where I'll be next week, but I know I'll be on vacation in New Mexico, so I might just find another coach out there like I did last year when I was in Ruidoso. But wherever I wind up, hope you can join us. And until then, remember, if you're lost in Texas, just look for the lights.
I wear that red and white on a Friday night when my hometown takes the field. I say yes sir, yes ma'am, try to be the best man. That's how I feel. No matter where my heart runs, I remember where I came from. Still got that raised up pride, that small town pride, that black, red, white, and blue. Got that trust from